All right, if you guys are just joining us, welcome. We'll do a little bit of ticker review. I'm just curious on what SPY is doing. Nowhere out of the woods yet. We're starting to see a higher high, which is good. Kind of a higher high. Nothing great so far. For QQQ, in my opinion, to be out, we need to break this 14.7 level for the Qs. But like I said, we're gonna get into this in a second. I'm gonna start posting. Looks possibly just like another bear flag on QQQ. Unfortunately. But we'll see. All right. Yeah, Facebook is crazy. Yeah, you'd expect bulls to kind of step in here soon. Not sure when, but yeah, we're just going to get started. So if you guys got any questions, let me know. Amazon down 2% today. Pretty good relative market strength. Don't think we're going to see Amazon down here at 32 for a long time, though. Skills broke that 10 price floor. That's crazy. Xene looks like we could move into tomorrow. I did want to see our projected move up, but yeah, if you guys are just joining in here, you got any questions, let me know. We're just taking a look at some of the plays today. Lots of stocks down huge, but, you know, the NQs are green, but we're still not even close to out of, you know, the bad parts. NQ looks like we're just setting up another rising wedge, unfortunately. So time will just have to tell. Would love to see a green day, but as it goes right now, haven't been really seeing much. So if you guys are just joining in, you got any tickers, let me know. We will go over them. Figured I would do a live maybe for 4 or 5 hours into market open. So if you got any, there shouldn't be too many people in here tonight. So if you got any, you want to look at financials for our company, anything like that, let me know. We can go over anything that you guys have. Okay. Let's see. Great. Okay. So yep. I was looking at the NQs. NQ is the NASDAQ futures. Looks decent. Looks like we're maybe having a higher low, but overall, we don't want the fib retracement. Overall, it still looks to me like we're working on a rising wedge, unfortunately. Something like this, and then usually break down here. Now, if we can break up this rising wedge, if we can break like 1450, we could be good to go. So NQ is definitely very choppy. It's going to be pretty hard to see what happens with that. I'll make this a bit bigger. All right. If you guys are tuning in, got any questions at all, let me know. Financials, anything, we'll go over. Okay. Bulls are trying to push it up from this level, but still don't think that there's anything crazy. I did see, like I said, I'm really curious we have some really, really big things coming up. For example, we have, we talk about things almost like, what was I going to say? A lot of people are talking about raising the debt ceiling. That's going to be a big topic. Things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what we come up with this Great. Yep. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Just tweeting out some things. But yeah, NQ. I said it'll be hard to come back from this, but we'll see. All right. Sorry. Just tweeting out some things. If you got any questions, let me know whatsoever. We'd love to go over some stuff. We can go over NQ. We can go over China stocks. Anything really. All right. That's good. Great. Okay. Perfect. You can look. I know ES is not up as much, but good to see the Nasdaq taking control over this. 200-day moving average. Where is that going to be on the Nasdaq? 200-day moving average is all the way down here, so we would have a long ways to drop to if it was a actual correction. That's important to keep in mind as well. And then if we go to ES, we can go to excuse me, we can go to SPY futures. See, really, in the big scheme of things, it just kind of looks like another gap down. It looks like we're setting up for our next leg down, possibly. Could bounce here, who knows. And then SPY's moving average is all the way at 4,100, which would be a correction. That's about 10%, so interesting to see where that will take us. But yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, you got any questions, let me know. We will go over whatever you guys want to see. No one's in here. If you guys do tune in, you got any questions, let me know. But yeah, if you guys got any questions at all, let me know. Like I said, we might have a slow night, so if you want to know in depth of a company, we can look at a company. That'd be a great time right now to go over stuff like that. If you are interested, going over financials or something like that, so just let me know. If not, that is all right as well. What's up, Min? I feel like you've been here before. What's up, Min? How are you? Sure, we can look at Facebook. Let's take a look. You're the only one in here, so we will go to the big chart. Take a look for you. All right, so Facebook. Facebook is very interesting here. So we have what happened today is actually I didn't see this, but the one good thing about Facebook is we did bounce off of this 200-day moving average perfectly. So looks like, we bounced off the 200-day moving average once, twice, 3 times. So down here's a great buy, in my opinion. Right here at this 200-day moving average. We don't have a lot. We also have we have a lot of support here as well. So right now would be the perfect dip buying opportunity for Facebook. We're right at the 200-day moving average. You can't get any better than that. We're oversold on RSI. So yeah, right now is the dip that you would be looking to get in on Facebook, 100%. Possibly monthly calls at 380, maybe 6-month calls. Not sure, but Facebook. There was some bad news that came out today, and it wasn't. It was just noise. It wasn't really that big of a deal, but just because the market was bad, it took that. That news was really, really bad. But yeah, like I said, we touched our 200-day moving average. I don't really think there's going to be much more downside to Facebook. In my opinion, I think it's a great spot to buy. I think we should start seeing some upside. Yeah, on the weekly, we've been down for almost a month now, so we will be looking for a bounce somewhere in here. Looks really, really good. Um, like I said, calls might be in play. I wouldn't know about the strikes, but seems like buying even leaps on Facebook right now wouldn't be a terrible idea going into next year. Some of the problem, some of that news was kind of a big deal, but in the grand scheme of things, all the stocks were down about 5% today, so I don't really take too much with that. So yeah, wish I would have saw that today, but a lot of these stocks starting to hit their 200-day moving average. So gonna want to see that. Let's look at what NQ is doing. But again, with anything, with all these stocks, we're going to want to see NASDAQ try to show some signs of reversal before we can even go long on these. So it's going to be hard for NASDAQ, but I mean, for a short-term reversal, I would probably say we need to get over this 14.8 level on NQ. Lots of different things that are going on, but for the most part, yeah, it's very hard to say. Yeah, that'd probably be my best for Facebook. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, you got any other questions, let me know. But yeah, Facebook's hard. I remember people always like to conspiracize and talk about how some of these large caps are going to go down. I remember this year, what was it? This year was like, Netflix was down 10%. This year, Amazon was 10%. All these large cap stocks always come back soaring. They have a huge pipeline. They always have a lot of funds. They're consistently growing. So really, these large cap stocks, whenever you see this huge discounts, they're going to be back to all-time highs. Who knows when, but they will. So you're pretty much making a free $60 a share buying Facebook down here, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, so yeah. And I mean, Facebook's not my favorite long-term hold. I like if we're talking about straight blue chips, I like Microsoft and Amazon better, and Apple, or Google. Facebook's kind of my least favorite out of all the blue chips, but looks good. So many dip buying opportunities right now, especially stocks that hit their 200-day moving average. It's good to see. Stocks usually need to hit their 200-day moving average eventually in their cycle. So great plots to buy. And actually, talking about a stock that was about to do its 200-day moving average, you look at Nike, right? So actually buying calls on Nike right here would be a really, really good spot. I'm actually going to buy calls tomorrow. So this is what we like to see. So we move up, right? We had this really crazy move up. We start to fill our gap below, but our 200-day moving average, look at this. We bounce right off of it and we're starting to curl. As we can see in other patterns, sometimes we have this V-shaped rally, but this is even more bullish. We're starting to curl around, so we can have a nice daily breakout over, we're going to watch for some strength, but daily breakout over 148 should trigger calls to probably 151, if not higher. We have a gap to fill kind of up here, so Nike is going to be on top. We'll have to watch for any type of options. Any options on Nike you're going to play, like I said. We're coiling right down here on the 200-day moving average, but we're also have this, once we break this, we'll have a daily breakout on the chart. So Nike looks really, really good. There's a lot of setups like this happening right now too, but Nike's really holding that 200-day moving average. If you were going to go long, 144.22 could be a good stop as well. But yeah, Nike looks like it's going to be. I'm actually going to put that out in a letter. In one of my, I put out a checklist to all my subscribers on Patreon. So that'll be definitely top watch for tomorrow. Stocks, that have great, like that's a great looking chart right there. I'm sure that we'll see Nike up 5, 6, 10% here one day. So great one to keep on watches. If you bought 150s and they hit, or 152s, they'd probably be up a few 100%, those calls. So keep that on watch for sure. If you guys are tuning in here, you got any other questions, any charts, any financials, any stuff like that, let me know. We can take a look. Good to see NQ is green, but again, we're kind of, in my opinion, working on a bear flag again. But who knows? They can move really, really quick. Futures, so nothing's really set in stone until tomorrow at open. That'd probably be what I would say. But if you are tuning in here, you got some other questions, let me know. Hopefully that lets you know on Facebook. But yeah, again, Facebook's hitting that 200-day moving average. We look at stocks like this that are hitting their 200-day moving average, and we tend to see a bounce there. So Facebook definitely a good place to start looking to buy leaps, in my opinion. If you guys are tuning in, you got any questions, let me know. I don't know how long we're going to be streaming. Might stream until market open. I'm not sure. Yeah, nice charting setup. I'm gonna put an alert on this out to all my people as well. Really, really nice setup. If you guys got any other questions, let me know. But yeah, Nike top watch for sure. We'll be looking for not a continuation, but a daily breakout. We'll send this. Especially we have a gap to fill up a little bit right here, but we got a lot of just very spacey all the way up. So Nike looks like a great play. And I know, like, for example, Amazon might have broken its 200-day moving average today. Yeah, it did. Amazon broke its 200-day moving average, and we're starting to see this really. Actually, Amazon looks really, really bearish right now. It was looking good, but we start to see a head and shoulders start to develop. On top of that, we broke our 200-day moving average. So Amazon actually looks bearish. I think we're going to be heading down to the 2,800, 2,900 range on Amazon. It's about one of the best times to buy Facebook right now. Just based off of technical analysis, is a great time to bait. We're gonna take. How long should I hold Facebook from here? Like I said, I don't know how long. I don't like Facebook I think there's a lot of other high quality stocks besides Facebook that have more growth that are down a lot that I'd be putting my money into. But I don't know. If you're just buying long term, it's a great time to add right here at this 200-day moving average. But I couldn't tell you how long you want to hold that. That's up to you. Um, Doug, that's funny. How long? But yeah, that's personal preference on how long you're going to hold Facebook. Like I said, hit its 200-day moving average, so that's up to you. I think that anything, even some calls, even leaps. I think leaps into next year, if you really were confident, up to 400 leaps for next year could hit, possibly. That's another option as well. Yeah, I try to stay out of the news today really wasn't that big of a deal to me. You might have think it was. I don't know. Didn't seem too big of a deal for me. But there's a lot of other names that I know China's still getting hammered hard, but there's a lot of China names. There's a lot of growth stocks that grow, 100% a year. Facebook's growing 23% a year, So there's a lot more, in my opinion, smarter plays than Facebook. But if you're really a blue chip investor and you just want to stake some money aside, Facebook would be a great play right now at these prices. Definitely, I think the bottom's in for Facebook. Like I said, and Nike too. Nike would be what I actually might buy some or I don't know if I'm going to buy leaps, but buying some calls in here on our trigger at 148 would be a great spot. 148 would be a great spot to look to buy some calls in here. Perfect. Like I said, A plus setup on Nike for sure. Digging the live chat. Give some info. Digging the live chat. You got to tell me what you'd like some info on, Doug. On Can? If you give me $20, I will. All right, let's see. Canon. Okay, so I know I've gotten some questions about this. This will be one I'll have to look at the financials. So overall, the stock is very, very bearish in my opinion. We had a run up here, but ever since the last few years, we've just had lower lows. Look, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, and we're looking like we have lower lows here as well. The only bullish case I can make for this, possibly, would be that if we had a stop, we kind of have a double bottom right here. So if you were going to go long on here, 540 has to be your stop loss. I don't really like that. That's a pretty wide stop loss. So the closer we can get to this 538 would be somewhere I'd want to buy. Now, if we're just looking at long-term financials, I can just do a quick estimate to see. This is interesting for sure. So we look at Can, we have a 1 billion, and then my Safari is not going to work. Oh my God. Like I bought $1,000 Apple computer. It doesn't work. Okay. So let's go to Can stock. What I first want to look at when I'm looking at one of these plays, I just want to see if revenue is increasing year over year. If it's not, I don't even want to dig more into it. But I look at my market cap at 1 billion and our revenue at 1 billion, depending on the sector. But some sectors trade market cap 12 times revenue. The lowest is energy at 6. So this should at least be a $6 billion company. So very, very undervalued if we're just looking at there. We're going to have to look at our net profit margin. So Wow, that's crazy. So we're looking here at our revenue, and it looks like we've had some really big jumps December to June. I want to take a little bit closer look. I also like to look cash on hand. We have, this is crazy. We have $1.2 billion cash on hand, and our market cap's less than that. So something's very serious wrong with this being undervalued. Let's go to CAN. Let's take a look at financials. So I want to go to a quarterly chart to get a better idea. So yeah, extreme growth since last year. A little confused why we had a strong, we had a really strong. It's weird. We were really strong before 2018, 2017. We had this really weird jump right here, and then we kind of went back down. But quarterly right now, we have some really good beats. So it looks like we're growing at about double a year. So what I'd want to see is this next earnings call is going to be really important if you're going to be long on here. You want to see this up a lot. Cost of revenues a little expensive too, but not bad. Surprised that it went up this much right here. Pre-tax income went up as well, so I'm thinking that maybe they had to sell some securities and dilute a little bit. We diluted here, so that makes sense. But yeah, it looks like a solid company. I don't know why it's trading so cheap. Oh, we were looking at CAN. We can take a look at that. Well, if you guys wanted some CAN analysis, there we go. We can look at Canopy growth. This actually looks like a really good stock, though. We went $1 to $6. CAN actually looks like a decent buy down here, actually. Want to see next, but we'll go to the ticker you want. Let's go with. You want on cannabis? You have to give me a ticker unless there's an ETF. So if you want to look at something like Canopy growth. Like I said, I got all the time in the world, so if y'all want an in-depth analysis on a ticker like that, just let me know. I got nothing else to do. I am trying to hit 500 subs tonight, though, so if you do like the content, I would appreciate that a lot. Yeah, so yeah. If you just give me, I don't know if you're talking about marijuana in general, but if you were just going to ask me the question from marijuana in general, the problem is the cost of revenue is really low, and until the federal government legalizes it, I just don't see a big boom. I know there's some micro cap stocks that are really good in cannabis. Yeah, Karan brings back good memories. My first time ever trading in the stock market, one of my earliest times, I traded right here back in 2019. Bought Karan at $12 and traded at 24. My first ever. So if we're just gonna look simply at the chart again, super bearish, right? We had this nice pop because of the Biden administration, but when I'm looking at pops on the stock for a long term, something like just because Biden got into office and a Democrat, they think that they're going to legalize marijuana. This makes me not even want to this pop didn't even matter. Been on a serious downtrend, even on the weekly. There's nothing bullish about this chart. This again would be something we'll have to look at the financials, but I'm sure the financials are going to tell this story. Like I said, so the first thing we want to look at it. Okay, so our market cap's $2 billion. Our revenue's $15 million. That's terrible. I expect off of this to be about $200 million, the market cap. So it's 10 times overvalued, in my opinion. It should be at 50 cents. Yeah, our revenue's just not where it needs to be. Our cash on hand, you can see, we're going down every quarter about 100 million. So we got a good amount of cash on hand to stay afloat for maybe another year or two. Earnings calls are terrible. Cost of revenue, look at this. Cost of revenue super expensive. So long term, until we can start getting our cost of revenue down or even show some sign of revenue growth year over year, I'm not interested. Okay. We can look at Alcugen. So yeah. But yeah, that's going to be the whole story for any marijuana sector. Sorry. Until the federal government legalizes it, it's really going to be hard, in my opinion, to get those. Pot X is the ETF for marijuana. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that. But yeah, I think marijuana is very bearish. Once we honestly get down to these, we're getting pretty close to this triple bottom at this 723, a possible buy. It's just super overvalued marijuana right now. Killer, thanks. Yeah, you got it. If you guys are new, I'd appreciate a sub. We're trying to hit 500. I'm about to go make an alcoholic drink here in a sec. Okay, what are the top USA cannabis tickers? Where they're all Canada based. Remember, there's some small ones, but it's illegal on the federal level. And the federal level is where the SEC comes into play, so can't really trade on the NASDAQ. Been over Okigen a few times. We can go over it. My problem with Okigen is I'm just going to say this about bioceuticals. Biostocks are very hard to play. When we're talking about biostocks, we usually have this one drug that they're working on for a prolonged amount of time. And my problem is with that is when we're working on this drug for a prolonged amount of time, we see, until they get that drug approved, they have no revenue. So they have to do constant offerings. Their drug to be approved and get passed in the clinical trials very, very hard. So I tend to stay away from bioceuticals. We have had some major runs, 25 cents up to 253, 253 up to 18. What I do notice in common is we see at this run that we bounced off our 200-day moving average. Our 200-day moving average is coming really, really close right now, and we've been trading in this range. So as much as this doesn't look like a bull flag to me, we've been stuck in this range. So there could be a big breakout possibility on good news, something like that. Like I said, we're getting pretty close into this coil. If we're just looking at, we're coiling pretty tight, and we're about to bounce off our 200 moving average. So you could see a pretty big move coming up, but I just don't know much about biostocks. I don't know the catalysts. It's really hard for me. We can look at OCGN revenue, but for the most part, there's probably not going to be any revenue, what I would probably think. There's no revenue. That's why it's really hard. There's no revenue, so what do I base this company off of if there's no revenue? That's why it's hard for me. We always miss our revenue earnings, so that's what's hard for me with biostocks. Okay, good news in that. I don't know if Okigen doesn't look too shorted in my opinion, but again, bios are really, really hard. Gvo's overpriced, I can tell you that much. The chart actually looks decent. We got a nice run up. We're starting to make some higher highs. What we don't want to see in a chart, look, lower low, lower low, lower low. We have a higher high. We're starting to make these higher highs, which looks decent, and we're sitting under 200-day moving average. The chart looks very bland to me, though. I don't see really a significant time to go bullish on here. Looks like we're double topping. It doesn't look like the best chart. I don't see too many bullish things about it. There's this, I don't know, it doesn't look very bullish to me. Wouldn't be really interested. It doesn't have a really nice setup. Now, if it had, the chart is one part, earnings and catalysts and that stuff is another part, so we're going to want to look. Market cap's 126 billion and our revenue is 500,000, so I'm not going to play it off of that. That's terrible. Yeah, no revenue. We're always diluting our shares. Cash on hand goes down every quarter. Look at this, March to June, lost $500 million. I'm not interested in it long term. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna give you guys my honest opinion. Like if you guys are holding it or not, that's just kind of what the moral. If you guys are, and there's also a difference. I tend to be more of a long term investor, but if I'm day trading off of technicals, that's one thing. If it's a momentum play, but I'm just figuring you guys are looking for long term plays. I do have all my long term plays that I give out. I literally will tell you my portfolio. If you follow my Twitter on the link, I have my whole portfolio set up there, so you guys can see what I hold. And I had about 25 names, and over this last week, I've consolidated my portfolio down to about 12 names that I have a lot of conviction on. This market being red, I just wanted to kind of focus into my key names. A lot of them are actually China names because they're getting so low. I think there's a lot of double, triple potential stocks down here, so we'll see. Amplify, I don't know, Amplify. I can just look off the chart. Geez. So, I don't really want to explain this. If you go to, I don't know why Safari is not working, but it's pissing me off. This is what I want you to do. So this is a gap play, right? We gapped down a lot this morning. If you go to my YouTube channel, look up a video I made, gap to fill. I can go quick analysis though. So on our gap to fill plays, right? Whenever we cross back over this 376 line is where we want to go long. If you watch that video, it's called like gap to fills. It'll explain the whole thing. Exact same setup though. We want to see it kind of curl down here. And as soon as we kind of curl back up and we break this 375 line, that's where we go long. But until then, we just wait. We could keep dipping and dipping. I think there's a good video on that as well on my YouTube. So if after this or right now, if you want to watch that, that's a good one. Definitely. Holy cow, we got through 502 subs. That is amazing. I didn't think that we were gonna hit 500 tonight, but I really appreciate it. Juan, you are welcome. I appreciate all the subs coming in for sure. Means a lot. Can't believe. Yeah, you guys are welcome. If you got any more questions, let me know. Damn, that's crazy. I started a couple weeks ago streaming. Didn't think it was gonna go well, but I feel like I was just kind of watching all the other financial channels and they looked pretty bad. So I was like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not intelligent about the stock market, but I have a decent understanding. So, maybe I can make enough money off of this to quit my job. That'd be sick. So we'll see. We're halfway there to being monetized. That would be pretty sweet. And also the way that the market's been going down, I'm about to lose my whole life savings. Doug, funny. I know this financial advisor that I was going to intern for. His name was Doug Wills. Thought you're him. Ooh, I like this chart. So when I'm looking at, I really like. I don't want to. I'll talk to this in a second, man, and I appreciate it. So there's nothing like a good growth chart that just makes me excited. I don't get excited on a lot, but this. I zoom out. I don't like it as much, but looks like a really nice growth chart. Let me pull up. A good looking chart with some momentum excites me. So let's draw on our support. So that's pretty much our line. We definitely broke out of the daily today. Textbook breakout. See that we tried 3 times to break this resistance. We finally did today. We shot up. Chart looks really, really good. Also looks like a good entry point right here as well onto strength. Revenue 15 billion. Ooh, interesting. Market cap is 27 billion. So remember, we should probably be crazy about revenues half of the market cap. Should be worth more. Pretty undervalued still. Really, really big jumps in revenue. And nice beats on revenue. So if this excites me, I'm gonna go a little bit bigger into financials. Let's go to quarterly. So quarterly, this is interesting. This stock is really starting to turn around. So we see. All right, this is what we want to see. We really were doing pretty bad in 2017, 2018, 2019, we're staying pretty stationary. But now quarterly, we're starting to really pick up growth. So quarter over quarter, we're growing at about 50%, which is exciting to see. We're starting to really beat these estimates and earnings. So like I said, there's a lot of stocks like this that next quarter's earnings are going to be really, really big to me. But yeah, it looks like a quality growth stock overall, especially with the energy sector, especially with the Biden administration. Something like this looks like a really, really good stock I'd want to be in. Looks really, really good just off of there. And another, if you guys are bullish about just solar in general, what's the solar ETF? Isn't that like TNH? TNH? I don't know. I bought Facebook at 342 before the 5% drop today. So yeah, I mean, I made a whole bunch of money off of CEI. I tripled my money. What of my swing plays we did in my Discord, but I literally moved all my money over, and all my growth stocks are down 20%. It happens, just bad timing. What are you in at? You're in at 342, so you're in right here. That's not actually that bad. So I don't know when it's going to get back there. I can just tell you that Facebook looks bullish. Whenever we hit our 200-day moving average, it acts as really strong support. We have this nice inverted hammer, or sorry, just a kind of a hammer forming. We hit our 200-day moving average. So as long as the NASDAQ doesn't tank a whole bunch, we really should start to see some upside here. We have some good support here, so we look like we're ready for a bounce on Facebook. That's what I was telling everyone. Calls look really good. So, I mean, I don't know how long that's going to take. It could take another week, 2 weeks, but it looks Facebook's starting to turn bullish. Time frames are hard. Nike, we just bounced off our 200-day moving average. We're starting to curl up. So Nike looks like another play that I'll be playing as well. Timing's hard. When will it be there? I don't know. That's why I don't play options. Options require too much. It's just hard for me to be like I can look if a chart's bullish or not, but depending on especially large caps, mid caps, low caps, I can tend to get a good idea of kind of where they're going to be at, in a time frame. It's still hard, but large caps, they follow the indices really well. So really you want to be looking at the indices because they follow those, and all the indices look bearish right now. But Facebook does look ready for a bounce, but again, if QQQs, if they decide to gap down the tomorrow morning or something like that, Facebook is going to follow as well. Like I said, there was some really good names in my growth portfolio, like APPS, SI. They had some good relative strength, but Facebook is going to pretty much mark. It's such a big cap company. It's going to kind of move with the market. If you guys are just joining in, you got other questions, you can ask away. Appreciate all the subs. Like I said, super cool. We hit 500. I just need to hit 1,000 now. Digging your chat. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. All my socials are below if you like it. I live stream the markets every day. Like Mondays and Wednesdays I have school, but I stream until I have work later in the day. So I'll be live, and then I got all my socials below. So yeah, that's pretty sick. Yeah, we do. It's a little bit more exciting during the trading day because I'll actually trade a little bit. We'll do, like I said, a lot of my followers. Before this market crash, we made 300% on a play. We made 200% on a play, on some swings, and then we were doing really, really good on some day trades. We went like 9 for 10 the last couple of weeks, but the market kind of turned over. But yeah, all my followers, we've been making lots of money. Please explain more how to get your live chat. What do you mean my live chat? What do you mean my live chat? Everything I do is free. All you gotta do is tune in here every morning. I don't have any paid services. All the content's free. The only thing that you can pay. Let's see. Check out my. You can pay. Let's see. I don't know why Safari is just not working on my computer. I have a Patreon that if you want to support me, you can, but I don't ask for any money. Everything's free on here. If you go out of your way, if you like it, you can, but I don't ask. All right. Are you holding BBIG? No, I'm not. I'm not at BBIG at 975. BBIG looked like it was about to, make a play. It was actually about to curl up. So when we draw our downwards resistance, we're starting to really get close to it. So we are pretty close to a possible breakout on BBIG. We're really flirting with the top of this trend line. So if we can break like 620, I think we could have some upside, but I'm not really looking at it too much. I was out, once we broke this trend at 975. I doubled my money on this, but yeah, I'm not really too bullish about BBIG right now. Skills, where's the bottom? That's a good question. Where is the bottom? That's the problem that I've even found myself too. I bought one of my favorite stock ever, my favorite growth stock besides APPS. This stock should be at least $500. We're still making new lows. If we want to talk about a growth company, I can show you guys this, or APPS. I thought the bottom was going to be, I started buying it 100 really heavily. Now we're at 80. We look at stocks like Wish. I have a really, really bullish scenario on Wish. We just cannot find bottoms right now in these growth stocks. They're not getting a lot of love. Until the market comes back, market money starts rotating back in growth, there's just not going to be a bottom. That's why, you be patient, add on dips. The best thing to do is to add on strength. So whenever growth, we can start seeing that there's a lot more strength to add. But right, skills has no bottom. If we, obviously it was a SPAC, so it's the $10 price floor. We broke that, so realistically we can go down to $3. Yeah, I don't know where the bottom's at. And it's hard because some of these stocks like they're so undervalued right now that it's like, okay, you get FOMO to buy in, but I think if you just buy right now at some of these long-term growth plays, you'll get rewarded. Skills for me is I don't like skills though. Our revenue compared to our market cap and our growth just really I don't like, just in my opinion. But yeah, a lot of these plays just have not been able to find bottoms. You keep buying that 7 layer dip. Um, I'm actually, yeah, that's the problem. Not even I can't find. No one's going to be able to tell you where the bottom is. So the best thing to do is average down, and the best thing you can do is add on. Don't add on weakness, add on strength. But that can be a whole other conversation itself. What is strength on a stock? And that can get it interesting as well to actually identify when money starts coming back into a sector. Um, so all that's very interesting information. Someone joined my Discord. Yay. Hello. Oh, what's up, CHK? Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to go to $3. I'm just saying I don't think it sees $3. But this is what I'm looking at. When I'm looking at skills, we went $46 to $8. So that's an 80% drop. It wouldn't be anything for it to drop another $3 down to $6, right? We went 46 to 8. So I mean, anything could happen. In my opinion, I mean, if you have bags at 16, I think it would be get out and try to buy something that's more long term. For me, I don't like skills long term thesis. That's my problem. Now, that's just me. If you really, really like skills, if you have a really bullish outcome, you've looked at the company, then good for you. You should hold it if you have conviction. I don't. So I would never be holding that. But again, just because I don't have conviction in a play doesn't mean you should listen to me. There's a lot of things I'm not bullish about. I'm not bullish about 3D printing, stuff like that, but I know there's a lot of people like my uncle who likes 3D printing who's bullish about 3D printing, right? So at the end of the day, your own kind of, even where you work, your environment where you're raised is going to make you have maybe even better understanding. Like cloud computing, I have a couple cloud computing stocks, but I don't know about cloud computing. All right. In current situation, what is your advice? Liquidate and only go for day trade if most of the money is locked in stocks. Um, what I can tell you what I did, I wouldn't worry about day trading. If you have your long-term investment portfolio, um, 2 days ago I sold out all of my positions that I wasn't super confident in, and I kind of what I did is I have my growth stock portfolio. I picked out my 12 to 13 that I'm most bullish about, and I kind of and that have been down a lot, and then I kind of put all my money into those. Other than that, I think we're getting to the bottom of this. Where I think we're going to start to see a bounce. I think we're kind of to the bottom. So I would just hold on, see how it shapes out next week. I think that everyone will be okay. Um, that's my best advice. Just hold on to your stocks. If you have money, buy quality stocks. Um, just buy some quality ones. If you need help finding a quality stock, I'm not a financial advisor, but I could help you. I could give you my list. If we're actually, let's just go over what my list looks like. I'm not talking about it. Let me show you guys what I did, and I'll explain my thesis. So, like I said, today I really honed into the idea of really just picking my favorite stocks out and just holding those. Um, some of my lower conviction stocks. If you don't have a lot of conviction in a stock, you get nervous holding onto it, right? Because you know if it's never going to go back up. These 13 stocks that I have, or 12, I'm so bullish on, they're going to be up eventually, and they're going to probably triple from where they're at right now. So let's take a look at my top plays, okay? I just want to say if you had this play for a year, you'd be up 200%. So Love these stocks that I picked. I really summed it down to 12. It's hard to pick out of there. We're gonna start with BioCryst, one of my favorite stocks. Pretty much they're a rare disease company, and for a really big disease, they're almost to their clinical data where they're gonna get approved. Right now, there's a lot of blood transfusions for this certain illness, and it's about $100 billion market. AstraZeneca, they're going to replace it. I think BioCryst, it's sitting about $14. It will be a $100 stock in 3 years. It will. APPS, I love this stock. It's actually my favorite long-term growth portfolio growth stock. It has to deal with digital ads. You know, it grows. All these stocks are growing hundreds of percent a year. That's important to note. Futu and Tiger are both Chinese names that can triple to quadruple from the prices right now. They're super cheap, and a lot of these are really high growth quality stocks. So that list is all. That's what I'm holding, and you can literally see what percent. Shows what percent. That's what I'm holding. That's what I'm holding right now. So if you need some ideas, definitely don't go. Thank you, Bot Wish. What do you say buying? Thank you, Bot Wish. What do you say buying apps and sell Wish? That's up to you. I mean, this is what I hold. I actually sold out of Wish. I was actually swinging Wish at $6. I lost quite a bit of money, 6 to 5.50. But like I said, on this market pullback, I'm really focusing on my core names that I really like, and then I kind of sold off the rest. I'm holding about 10% cash too. So on some of these dips, if we do see some more dips, I'm going to be looking to add a little bit more to my positions. But that's kind of what I did. That hopefully we'll see how it works out. I don't know, but I just picked my most bullish because I'm not going to be worried about these. I think that especially these Chinese name stocks. Oh man, they're so cheap. So we'll see. Let's take a look at NQ. I try not to look at futures because they really are non-existent. They don't matter. Really, futures are kind of just not going to matter at all. Whatever happens with them happens. They usually change so much by market open that whatever they're doing right now could totally just not even matter by the time market opens. I've seen futures up 3% and then they open red. Futures are very weird. So I don't look at futures too much, but sometimes they're not even really helpful. Whatever happens in the market, right? So I try to say, everyone in this stream might be up worrying. Later, they're just curious. But the market, whatever happens, there happens. No need to worry. If you're confident in your plays, you hold on to them long term. When we're talking about a company, just because a company, drops 20%, if nothing fundamentally changed with the company, there's no reason to get nervous. If your house dropped 20% in value, you're not going to just sell it. That'd be stupid. So, that's what I would say about that. Now, yeah. Do appreciate all the subs coming through. Sweet stuff. Okay. We got some notifications up here. Accel Autoglass. Interesting. Can you help me put on some auto glass on my car? But yeah, I don't know. If you guys got any questions at all, let me know. Yeah, I'm super happy to hit 500 subs. Appreciate everyone. We'll see. I'd love, I'm not. It'll happen eventually. I'll hit 1,000, I hope, but it will be cool when I hit 1,000. Start getting paid would be pretty sweet if it happens. I also need to I need someone to manage all my socials. I have way too many. Between Discord and Patreon, I just haven't had enough time. We have quite a bit of people, but we'll see. If you guys got any questions, let me know. If not, I'm probably going to head out here soon. I just wanted to do a stream to 500 followers. Um, but yeah, if you guys are in here, I am live every day, so make sure you leave those notifications on. And then, are you guys able to see chat? Is chat? I was gonna ask if anyone can let me know. I know this chat box right here. Is this big enough, or is this too small? Do we need it bigger? Um, can you guys even read, or do you even care what other people say? I don't know if you can see it, or I'm not sure. So, yeah, I don't know if that works. If I don't even know if any of these widgets work, but I don't know why features aren't popping up. There we go. But yeah, Nasdaq's green, but we still have nothing too bullish on the chart yet, unfortunately. We're gonna have to reclaim one of, like I said, 140, 1,400, 800. Sorry, 14,800. If we're really gonna be, getting to bullish territory once again. All right. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm back. I want you to meet Sussy. I want you to. I don't know what does Sussy need. My live feed. What do you? So my live feed. Oh, I don't know who. I don't know who Sussy is. And need how to get to your live feed. I don't know what you mean by live feed. I'm live every day, so, and then also all my socials are below. So if you want like to follow me on something else, like you could, if you send me a message on Discord or Twitter, I'll probably answer it. I will answer it. I don't know what you mean by live feed though. Some other interesting plays too. I wonder. I remember Canadian Solar was such a huge deal earlier this year, $67, and looks like even stuff like this where it looks like we broke that 200-day moving average. People ask why I use that. 200-day moving average, anything above it is usually bullish. Anything below it is pretty bearish. What I've seen to come. And another interesting play is Palantir sitting right at its 200-day moving average as well. So could see a possible bounce from Palantir. I think we really will. So good time to buy leaps if you're, if you missed out on the first Palantir run or you want to buy leaps. When these stocks are sitting at this 200-day moving average, you couldn't have a more perfect time. So sucks that I don't have enough cash to really buy everything I want, but I guess that I'm holding I don't I'm holding a little bit of cash, but stocks like Nike, Palantir that are really sitting at their 200-day moving average, very, very tempting. That's where you want to buy a stock, especially if it can bounce off there. It's where most stocks find a lot of their support, especially Palantir. Looks really, really good. Quad then. I don't know what that means. Quad. I mean, I'm live, so I think if you just go to my YouTube, go to YouTube. Here, I'm gonna pull up my YouTube. Let me see. That is not me. All right. If you just go to this live, there should be. It's where most stocks find a lot of their. All of these links right here. I didn't know you guys had a chat on here too. Cool. Right on. Well, I am probably going to go play some Rocket League, so I'll answer. If you guys got any more questions, I'll answer them. If you guys got a few extra questions before I go. But if not, it's probably not going to be too much, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in for a little bit. Appreciate it. All right, we'll look at quad before we go, sure. Quad looks decent. Let's see. We've been downtrending for a while, so I don't know why, but nice breakout channel. We're looking at our bottom support lines as well. not a bad spot to buy. You'd really want to buy at about $4 to $3.90 would be a great spot to buy. Right where that 200-day moving average and that support line intersect would be a great spot. So market cap is again 228 million. Our revenue is more than our market cap, so I would say that the stock is undervalued most definitely. The problem is that our revenue is not growing year over year like we'd like to see. So when we look at our revenue year over year, we're actually declining in revenue. So even though we're undervalued, a lot of these stocks, people don't want to buy a stock that's not growing year over year. So stocks that are growing year over year seem to get more attention, and they have a higher market cap compared to their revenue. So growth stocks usually trade at a higher PE ratio. So even though this looks undervalued, because it's not growing very quickly or very stagnant or not growing at all, that's why we can see stuff like that happen. All right, I am out of here. I'll stay in the chat for a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow sometime, probably at market open.